So we've talked about the 6 elements. Let's talk about some companies who maybe have used those 6 elements in a really unusual or different way. So let's talk about product or service.
I go with AT&T for $500, Jim.
Okay.
Because just think about it, like 10 years ago, they were fighting over and trying to figure out the last mile, how they could connect that last mile to your house of cable. And now they're thinking about how to get Facebook onto the homepage of their smartphone.
Or another big company example, Xerox, who used to be thought of as copiers and now have completely transitioned over to services that they offer companies, or IBM, who has moved from hardware to services.
Exactly, great examples.
What about customer impact?
You have to use Zappos because it's the first time that you haven't been really upset when you get a customer service person on the phone. And also, you don't feel guilty when you have to buy 3 pairs of shoes knowing that you're going to return 2. They want you to do that. And it's the first time that they really deliver on that happiness promise.
And you also mentioned you had eyeglasses made that was a pretty amazing
I loved
story.
it. Warby Parker, and none of these people, by the way, are giving me fees for endorsement, but Warby Parker, there used to be sort of one way to get your glasses and you felt kind of captive by the whole system. Warby Parker is a young company that found out that you could measure some of the pupil distance by using a credit card, putting your face up to the screen, and then suddenly you could pick your glasses out, virtually try them on. They take a picture of you in all the different glasses. You can post the way you look to Facebook, and then you can get feedback right away, because when you're not wearing your glasses, you have no idea what you look like.
I love that. Process design.
Okay, so process usually doesn't sound sexy, but I love the fact that companies like Pfizer that used to have R&D centralized, and of course P&G, in the old days, but they used to have centralized R&D. And now, with Pfizer, they have decentralized programs like the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, where they have the centers of excellence giving ideas back into the company. It's a pretty common model now. But I love the fact that instead of R&D being centralized, so many companies are looking to pockets of innovation in the field to inform them about what should be next.
I love that. Talent and leadership.
So the funniest story is when Jones Lang LaSalle, which is a huge global company that was trying to figure out how to recruit.
They're real estate developers.
They
right?
are. They're real estate developers and facility management. Couldn't think of 2 more, quote, conservative fields. And they were thinking about why they weren't able to get sexy people, coming to their company, like, the young people coming out of college who all want to work at Google, which, by the way, I don't think that a search engine is that sexy, but, But they were convinced that they were just never going to get the cool people. And so in brainstorming one day, they realized that what they wanted to do was be more like the Brazilian soccer league, which at birth, every child is born with a T-shirt of the favorite team. And right from the beginning, there's this mindset that it's cool to be a soccer player, football, they call it player. So they thought, you know what, why couldn't we have a feeder system? And those kinds of innovations mean that you first have a belief and you have a hunch that you can do it, and then you have a model from another industry, and it accelerates your pace of adapting to that.
People who've used brand.
So one of my favorite brands is the way that P&G uses loads of hope, because instead of pushing product in communities, what they discovered is that if you have authentic relationships, and especially with the internet and social media, you can't just fake it. You can't say, we love you, and have a slogan and have that be enough. So with Loads of Hope, when there are natural disasters, people don't necessarily need clothing donated, but they certainly need their clothes cleaned. So here P&G realized that they could authentically be part of a community and have mobile units, like a food truck, only it's a wash your clothes truck, come out into the community, and it's Loads of Hope. You can wash your clothes. I'm pretty sure it's for free. By the way, you use their products. And of course, that gives you not just a brand billboard, but it actually gives you a feeling of connection to a brand. And that's what's new on the horizon in that area.
What about trendability?
For trendability, it is really important to combine 2 things. One is data, so that you really see the emergence of new patterns in data. And I think social media is part of that, being able to read social media well. But also having these hunches that are going to bring you in a new uncomfortable realm. So for instance, I love the fact that Qualcomm recently was trying to figure out how to reach the youth market. And you could have had PhD scientists studying that problem forever. And instead what they did is they invited a lot of children to come and sit side by side with their engineers for 2 days, and the engineers weren't allowed to talk. The teacher was the 7-year-old, and they got to experience the world of these devices through the minds and the experience, and mostly the thumbs, of the kids, and learned a ton. And to me, that's a brilliant way to really experience and immerse yourself in trends. Put yourself outside of that comfort zone, put yourself in an environment where you're going to be learning in a new way, and then figure out what you're seeing and invent to that.